Hi you guys, so today I'm talking about the difference between nice and kind. Why is nice bad? Why is kind good? First, let's go into the etymology. First off, etymology is the study of the origin of words and in which the way their meanings have changed throughout history. Now, this connects into the last video. What if I find it hard to not give that love they can reciprocate? And what if I find it hard to reciprocate that love I'm being given? Okay, you have to be kind until you're healed. You can't be nice. Now let me explain what is the difference. Like, why does it even matter, Sydney? It matters. I used to say, I'm so nice. I'm so nice. I'm the nicest person you'll probably ever meet. But I was miserable being nice. Being nice is being miserable, you guys, because of the fact that kindness equals love, while niceness equals fear. And let me explain why that is before you get all cray-cray, you guys. Love comes from kindness because it's a basic human instinct to support life and oppose death. Okay? It symbolizes good in a sense. And niceness is basically a fierce selfishness. It's a need and desire for power, and it's connected to evil. Let me explain. Nice is conforming your behavior to what the society believes or sees as nice. It's focused on yourself, basically, where you're doing nice things in order to be perceived by others or yourself as a nice person. And it's selfish, it feels narcissistic, and it doesn't even bring happiness true times unless it's somehow benefiting you in a way. I'm saying that's not what you should be trying to do in life. That's not kind. And that core usually comes from fear. Now, why are you saying that I fear, Sydney? Why would I fear anything, right? Well, let's go to the natural selection and process of our evolution, y'all. The power. What's power? It's when the weak submit to the will of the strong. You have a person who feels weaker, have the evolutionary imperative to be nice, to gain favor of the stronger person, and be submissive. They deeply ingrained evolutionary behavior is shared between primates, mammals, and us. Let me give you an example. A king, a strong, a warrior, or whatever, he kills people he doesn't like in the tribe. The people will tend to be nice to him, and they'll try to please him in order to stay on his good side. They may not really want to, but you know what it brings? It succeeds in making them friends with him, and less likely that he will kill you. And you gain power through association through him, possibly. So you have the organized society where most people are nice just to make everyone, just to about everyone they meet, honestly. You have the civilized world where we are usually called upon to submit to the will of some random powerful stranger. Now, the power centralized in the hands of the society at large are in the form of the law. And as humans, we become submissive to society. And this is a basic driver for this submissive behavior, is the fear of being on society's bad side. Like the same way one would be in fear of being on the bad side of a powerful, bloodthirsty warrior, basically. Also have what other people want to express. They don't necessarily always express what they truly want to express. They're working for very powerful people in some sense or some way. They have people in their lives that they feel are somewhat powerful. Even if you've noticed that with a nice person, they become even nicer than usual when a person of particular power is around them. Aside from fear of being a target of this person's wrath, there's another motivation for being this nice or extra nice. If you have a powerful friend, you gain power by association. And when you want something, but for whatever reason you can't get it yourself, they may be able to help you get it. Think of meeting a CEO. You'll give extra niceness regardless if you really want to or not, but you're trying to do it in order to gain something out of it. That's niceness. Now, when you do that, though, it is contributed to evil because of the fact that you're doing it for very powerful people. And these powerful people are typically the evil ones, where they gain power by wanting it, and they're taking it. They've spent their lives stabbing, naive, trusting good people in the back, and society's filled with lots of nice people, eagerly doing the bidding of the demons and the supervillains, pretty much, and they take advantage of them. These demons always look righteous when they're surrounded by hordes of really nice people that they're manipulating, pretty much. Evil is simply a more subtle, submissive form than that of the supervillain, because the niceness arises from an evil core. Even the mode of the expression is technically evil sometimes, where the nice behavior is inherently dishonest. It's not what they really want to do all the time, honestly. And they're fundamentally involving the submission of one's own will to the will of another person or of society, whether they want to or not. They're hiding the truth of what they truly and actually want as an individual. They express what is expressed onto them, essentially. The people want them to express. So they're not honest about themselves sometimes, or about what they truly want. Now, the supervillain is obviously evil because they're open completely about what they want. A nice person is secretly evil because he hides what he wants. Supervillain is at least honest about what the fuck is going on. But a person can have a core of selfishness, greed, and desire for you or for power in general and still be an honest human being. Now, that is called an assertive asshole, essentially. Now, he wants money, he wants power, he wants control, and he'll tell you so in no uncertain terms. And if you don't want to deal with it, you can leave. And if you do, you're at your own risk, essentially. Now, they give you a choice. A nice person wants something that wants the same thing as the asshole, but he tricks you basically by keeping his intentions out of the sight and out of mind. So there's a sort of sneakiness. The sneakiest kind of evil person is the one who makes you think he is good. And the niceness is essentially Satan's most dangerous invention of all, especially the fact that everybody wants to call themselves nice and they don't know the true definitions. And I have the true definitions up here. It's foolish, it's stupid, it's not a good thing, you guys, okay? You're supposed to be coming from a place of kindness. And when you don't have knowledge, you use words like this, okay? Come on now. Learn how to meditate and practice that honesty and assertiveness and self-awareness, ethical judgment, and just overall kindness, okay? Because it's not being experienced right, essentially. Now let me explain what kindness is before I go into the biology of why this shit is happening and why you keep saying nice or doing nice things when you could be kind. Basically, kindness is when you don't care, basically, about what society thinks of you. And you act out of a deep-rooted love for their fellow human being. It's focused on others. It's wanting to relieve the suffering of the living. It's consciousness. It's conscious giving, basically. And it's a strong feeling of empathy and happiness. And at your core, you feel love and compassion. There's a basic human attribute of goodness, of just good in it. And helping others, it's also helping yourself in some way, in some form. Now, by being kind, how do I be kind? 1, empathy. You have a clear perception of the subjective world experienced by a living being. 2, compassion. It's the resultant initiant to improve this perceived subjective experience. Then you got kindness, the actions arising from the experience of compassion. Now, the natural human instinct of compassion is to be aware of the subjective world experienced by a living being. Basically, that awareness is empathy, and it can be directed towards oneself or another living being. See, with niceness, you're not giving that to yourself as well. You're just doing things for other people. Now, that's not kind to yourself. That's not kind to others. That's you doing things for other people you don't even maybe want to be doing it for. Why? Exactly. You also have to think of the fact that compassion manifests as a byproduct of empathy. Okay? So there's a simple urge to help someone who is suffering and to bring that strength to the sick and smiles to the sad. And we can easily understand and communicate niceness through human language. But empathy and compassion are almost impossible to understand simply by reading those words and thinking about the concepts, right? So why is that? Because niceness is something that isn't really what you should be doing. Honestly, it's something like kindness is something that you feel, while niceness is something you basically think and do, and it's not really coming from a place of love. Rather you think so or not, it's typically not. And language and niceness are on the left side of your brain, while compassion is on the right side of your brain. You got language and knowledge. It's logical, and compassion is emotional. Now, language and knowledge is in the head, but compassion is also in the heart in some sense. So we can use language to talk about niceness, because niceness arises from logical thought. Language and niceness are like neighbors, basically, in the left half of your human brain. You get this, you get that. You do this, and that happens. It's all linear. It's all cause and effects. Niceness makes sense. But compassion, though, is an emotional instinct, right? Ooh, that's scary. Emotions. Ooh. So outside of that realm of logic, it can't be explained through human language. It can only be basically empathy and compassion. They're an emotional phenomenon beyond the grasp of the rational mind. The only way to truly understand them is through direct emotional experience, essentially. It's to feel, okay? Stop thinking and doing stupid shit and just fucking feel, okay? Okay. So most people experience these emotions in daily life, but they're unaware that they can even strengthen these parts of their brains associated with this empathy and compassion, and even generate these emotions of will. That every living being is deserving of your empathy, compassion, and kindness towards all living beings. It's far more important than this crazy ass question of whether or not they fucking deserve it. Okay? Treat others how you would love to be treated. Simple. We may experience an emotional defense mechanism where people feel like laughter instead of empathy sometimes, and it's resistant to experiencing powerful emotional responses. So that's melodrama and humor that's often that brings laughter instead of that brings laughter out of emotionally repressed people who are extremely detached from their emotions. You have to look past the defense mechanism and become aware of the emotions in your body, your mind, your soul. Laughter may diminish their power, but you still have to be able to perceive it for what it is, the truth. The fact that you're hurt, you're not okay, you need to address it. So you have to, one, look at these things from another person's eyes. Two, you have to get up and help that person. And three, you have to do actions. It's taking to alleviate that person's suffering, sparked by compassion, basically. And you're obligated to do it by the life force of the universe or consciousness itself. This isn't about you, basically, but it's about them. So life's nature is to preserve nature, essentially. It's to do good things naturally, not out of survival, but because you want to live. And you want to help others live and thrive, not survive. That's not real love. You're basically fueling yourself and your life with toxic people that you really shouldn't be in, that aren't helping or improve you in any way, shape, or form. They may not even talk to you about your emotions and may even ignore it and just go about their day because they don't fucking care. You need to start thinking about who you surround yourselves with and why you do it and make some fucking changes.